December 21st, 1944, South China Sea, 4:47 a.m., 300 feet beneath enemy-controlled water. George William Grider stands inside a steel cylinder barely wider than a hallway. The steel walls around him sweat with condensation. Every vibration carries through the hull. Every sound feels louder than it should. The USS Flasher is alive, not in the way people imagine machines being alive, but in the way something enclosed, pressurized, and hunted must be alive to survive. Valves hiss. Motors hum softly. The boat breathes through recycled air, each breath slightly worse than the last. Through a periscope no wider than his fist, Grider watches 3 Japanese tankers cut slowly across the dark water. They are enormous. Each one displaces thousands of tons. Each one carries fuel measured not in barrels, but in weeks of war. Without that fuel, aircraft do not fly. Destroyers do not patrol. Convoys do not move. Entire campaigns stall quietly, not from defeat, but from absence. 6 destroyers guard them. They sweep ahead and along the flanks, sonar pinging rhythmically through the water. Depth charges hang armed beneath their hulls, waiting. These ships are not escorts by habit. They are escorts by necessity. They know submarines are here. They are not moving cargo. They are hunting predators. Flasher has 9 torpedoes remaining. The convoy is zigzagging deliberately, changing course just enough to complicate firing solutions without losing speed. 14 knots. Efficient. Disciplined. 4 minutes remain before the geometry collapses. 3 targets. 6 escorts. 9 torpedoes. The math is brutal. Below decks, the air is turning heavy. Carbon dioxide levels are climbing. The boat has not surfaced for air in hours. Sweat beads on foreheads. Headaches begin quietly. No one complains. Every breath costs something. Grider's executive officer calculates the probabilities and does not like the answer. If the escorts respond correctly, if sonar locks in, if depth charges fall where doctrine says they should, survival drops to 12%. Grider does not argue. He does not pace. He does not raise his voice. He does something no submarine commander has ever attempted. He decides to attack all 3 tankers at once. This is not bravery. It is calculation. Grider orders a full spread. 6 torpedoes leave their tubes in 90 seconds. The boat shudders with each launch. Below him, sailors reload in darkness, hands moving by memory alone, bodies working in silence while the ocean outside begins to erupt. Explosions roll through the water. Destroyers react instantly, turning hard, releasing patterns of depth charges at positions they believe make sense. Grider does not dive. He watches. The first tanker erupts amidships, a violent bloom of fire and smoke tearing through steel and fuel. The second takes hits low along the waterline, flame racing across its deck. The third disappears behind a wall of fire so bright it paints the horizon orange. In 47 minutes, all 3 tankers are destroyed. Not a single casualty aboard Flasher. The escorts drop dozens of depth charges, detonations echoing through empty water. They never realize the submarine is not where doctrine says it should be. 16 days later, USS Flasher will sink more enemy tonnage than any American submarine in World War II. A record that will never be broken. George William Grider is 32 years old. Some stories don't fit inside textbooks. October 1st, 1912. Memphis, Tennessee. George William Grider is born into a family already shaped by war. His father is a military aviator, part of a generation that believed the sky itself could be conquered. He is killed in combat before George turns 6. His absence becomes permanent. Grider's mother raises him on stories instead of memories. Tales of aerial duels, of men who took impossible odds and never came home. War is not romanticized, but it is normalized. At 9 years old, George tells his teacher he will sink more ships than his father shot down planes. The teacher laughs. His mother keeps the note. Grider grows up methodical, competitive, quietly intense. When he enters the United States Naval Academy in the early 1930s, instructors notice something unusual. He does not fear risk. He measures it. Psychological evaluations describe exceptional confidence bordering on recklessness, paired with an unsettling comfort around asymmetric violence. He does not seek fair fights. He seeks decisive ones. He qualifies for submarines before the war even begins. When Japan attacks Pearl Harbor, Grider serves aboard USS Pollock. The shock of the attack ripples through the fleet, but Grider does not freeze. 3 days later, Pollock encounters a Japanese destroyer. Standard doctrine is clear: dive, evade, survive. Grider argues to surface and attack in daylight. The captain refuses. The destroyer escapes. Grider requests transfer. 6 months later, he joins USS Wahoo under Commander Dudley Mush Morton, the most aggressive submarine commander in the Pacific Fleet. Morton believes complexity kills initiative. Find targets. Destroy targets. Find more targets. Grider thrives. On one patrol, Wahoo sinks 4 ships in 6 days. The patrol report ends with a simple sentence: ran out of torpedoes. Disappointed. October 1943. USS Wahoo fails to return from patrol. 79 men are lost. Grider is ashore. He attends the memorial service. He listens to the names. He watches families cry. He does not speak. 3 days later, he requests command of the newest submarine under construction, USS Flasher. But Flasher already has a commander, Commander Reuben T. Whittaker. Whittaker is Grider's opposite. Methodical, precise, cold. Whittaker does not chase emotion. He chases geometry. He ignores intelligence reports that do not align with mathematics. Convoys appear where they are not supposed to. Whittaker attacks them anyway. His patrol reports become legendary. Targets sank. No counterattack. Crew performed adequately. Whittaker never celebrates. He never congratulates. Success is expected. Under his command, Flasher sinks ship after ship. Escorts search where submarines should be. Flasher is not there. After 4 patrols, Whittaker is promoted. Before leaving, he buys a round for every submariner in the club and says 5 words. Flasher isn't finished killing yet. October 31st, 1944. Lieutenant Commander George W. Grider takes command. The crew is uneasy. Whittaker taught precision. Grider promises something else. He promises aggression. He is not joking. Grider attacks destroyers head-on. He fires torpedoes through escorts into tankers beyond. He uses rain, darkness, and enemy assumptions against them. In one night, he destroys 2 destroyers and a tanker in a single firing sequence. The escorts believe they have struck a minefield. By the time they understand, Flasher is gone. December 21st, 1944. 3 tankers, 6 escorts, 1 coastline. Grider positions Flasher where submarines are not supposed to operate: shallow water, close to shore. The escorts scan the deep sea. The danger is beside them. 6 torpedoes leave the tubes. All of them find their targets. Fire lights the horizon. Confusion wins. By war's end, USS Flasher will destroy more enemy shipping than any American submarine. Not because of luck, because doctrine was rewritten under pressure. Whittaker taught precision. Grider taught aggression. Together, they proved a single truth. In submarine warfare, efficiency kills more than courage ever will. The ocean is patient. It does not judge. It simply claims what sinks. USS Flasher returned from every patrol. No crew lost. Record intact. Some weapons make noise. The deadliest ones do not.